Good morning and welcome to Friday. I thought today what I'd do is talk about lenses and the lens that you look through when you're dealing with stuff. And I thought the best way to describe that is what I went through yesterday when I went to the supermarket. Now, supermarket shopping has never been a big deal, right? You go to the supermarket, you pick up your stuff, you come out, you carry on with life. Well, yesterday I experienced a completely different scenario. I experienced supermarket shopping hell. Is what I experienced. And I had to go through several different ways of looking at it, several different lenses. So I'll tell you how it started. Basically, I turn up at 7 o'clock in the morning thinking I was really clever and smart for turning up early, and I wasn't clever and smart for turning up early. I was actually stupid. I'll tell you why I was stupid, because it didn't open until 8. Oh, my Lord. What am I going to do? 8 o'clock is when the actual supermarket opened, and I was like, what? And so in that space, I had to very quickly find a lens that said, it's okay. It's okay, Mitty, don't panic. You're going to be all right. And the reason why I did that is because if I hadn't, I would have been like, idiot. All right, so a lens. One lens is to think of myself as an idiot. One lens is to go, it's okay. You know what, mistakes happen. Come back in an hour. Actually, this gives you some time. And then I looked through another lens and actually now you can do X, Y, and Z, and that'd be good. So then I got to come home, get the dishes done, put some food on for the family before I go down again. I go down again. The queue is ridiculous. I'm lining up in the queue and I'm hating queues. And I'm having to think to myself, how am I going to perceive this? Am I going to sit here and be angry and annoyed and upset, or am I just going to go, actually, you know what, just get over it and remember that everybody is going through this at the same time. You're not the first person to have to deal with this. You're not going to be the last, and this is not the last time you're going to have to deal with this. So again, another lens, a lens that I could look through that helped me, or that was proactive in helping me through that part of it. Get into the supermarket or get closer to the top of the line and realize that they had not found the key to open up the trolley, so I couldn't get a trolley. And now I wasn't going down there to get 2 or 3 bits and pieces. I was going down there to get a supermarket trolley full of groceries. I look at the young man that tells me, oh, we just couldn't find it. We can't find the key. And I'm like, okay. And then I have to look through the lens of it's not his fault. It's not something he can control. And therefore I have no right to be upset or annoyed at him. Another lens. He does give me a couple of solutions. He said, actually, there might be some trolleys in the supermarket. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go on a trolley hunt before I start shopping. Anyway, I get inside and I see a trolley. Yay! And I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. And it's a trolley that the supermarket is using with some rubbish and stuff in it. So I said, excuse me, young lady, would you mind if I just borrow this supermarket trolley and can we take those things out? And she goes, oh. And I could have done this. Instead I did breathe. Remember what these people are probably going through. Time now to be patient, and I used that lens of patience. Would have been very easy for me to react off how that made me feel, but instead I went actually look through the lens of what this woman has gone through. You're probably number 10 who said the same thing to her about shopping trolleys. Get my trolley, go through the supermarket, and I don't have to give you the details on that. It's stressful at the moment because half the stuff you want you can't get. You get the stuff that you might not want but you think you might need. You don't know what you really need. You're not sure where you're going to land every day. It's a whole bunch of stuff. You get through to the end. And anyway, so I do the shopping trolley, then get all my shopping, get to the counter, and I start going through that process of paying for it. Anyway, so while I'm doing this, a pineapple fell out of my trolley. Now, in a normal world, a person behind me would pick it up and I would say, oh, thank you. That's really nice of you to help. Well, a lovely man went to pick up my pineapple and I went, don't touch my pineapple. And then when I realised how I told him to not touch my pineapple. I felt embarrassed, and I was like, did you just do that? Like, I literally yelled, don't touch my pineapple. And then he was like, oh. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. And he's like, oh. Some crazy lady. Again, I had to use a lens on myself, because I could have gone, oh, you're such a dick. How embarrassing that you did that in front of everybody. But instead I went, actually, you know what, Mitty? You're stressed. You're being stressed from the moment you got to this environment, and that's just the accumulation of that stress. Take it easy. Did you apologise to the man? Yes, you did. Okay, cool. Again, another lens. Got home exhausted, and I could have used the lens of I'm exhausted and annoyed, because I had a Venus meeting at 9:30 that I didn't make, and this whole shopping fiasco had started at 7 a.m. in the morning, and now it's 9:30 and I'm only just pulling up. And of course you have to go through all the decontamination stuff. I needed to have a shower, I needed to wash my clothes, I needed to make sure that all the bits and pieces that we were bringing into the house were wiped. All of those things needed to happen, and I knew there was no way I was going to make the meeting, so I was annoyed. And then I felt guilty, because I was like, oh God, you didn't make the last meeting, now you're not making this meeting. And so I could have continued to look through the guilt lens, but I pulled myself out of it again, and I said, actually, you know what? A whole bunch of this stuff is out of your control. You know, so don't take responsibility for stuff you can't. Again, it's another lens. So the moral of the story is, throughout this entire fiasco, I could have quite often gone down into a really ugly place. And I have no doubt that many of you out there have experienced the really ugly place in the shopping mall. But instead I chose to use different lenses to see what was going on and to perceive the world around me slightly differently. I came home, I did all the things I needed to do, and then I decided to meditate before I saw my first client. And I said to everyone in the house, I said, look, I'm sorry guys, I'm just going to be upstairs, I'm going to chuck some music on, I'll be 30 minutes, and then I start working. And everyone was quite gracious about it. Nobody really cares what I do in the house. Just quietly. And so I actually, and because of the level of stress that I had in that one shopping trip, I actually had to meditate about 3 or 4 times throughout the day. So I think in totality, I might have meditated for about 2 hours sporadically throughout the day. And that was just to bring my stress levels down. And then by the end of the night, I was exhausted. I had a great day though. I got lots of stuff done, so I was quite productive, and I had great meetings, and I felt like those meetings were engaged and I was helpful. The thing though about today's session is that these normal routines that we have, these things that normally would be nothing, wouldn't be stressful at all, are turning into mountains. And if we're not careful, those mountains can really impact on the way we behave, and then that impacts on the people around us. So what I'm saying to you today is really think about the lens that you're looking through. Think about how you're perceiving your world, how you're behaving with yourself. And at all times, try and change the lens. It doesn't have to be a positive lens, but it has to serve you. So the lens that you look through must serve you. If it doesn't serve you, then change the lens and look at it a different way. And there's always a multitude of different angles that you can look at any given scenario. One scenario to one person can mean a completely different thing to another person. What's stopping you from having that different view? So today, ladies and gentlemen, is about lenses. It's about taking those challenging moments and asking yourself, what lens am I looking through? What lens could I look through in order to make moments serve you better? Have a wonderful Friday. See you tomorrow.